What is up, guys? Kapgun here, one-handed gamer, giving you guys some Destiny gameplay. Today I'm going to be reviewing Destiny, giving you my official review, and also giving you my first impressions of the Vault of Glass raid. Basically is the hard, challenging, exciting part of Destiny that everybody has been recently talking about, and I recently actually finished the raid, and I wanted to talk about that today. Hopefully you guys are doing good. This is going to be a really long video, so if you guys want to come back later, make sure you watch the whole video, please. I really would enjoy you guys to listen to what I have to say. Give it a rating it deserves. Drop it a comment. Give your thoughts as well. I want to make this more of a socializable video that I can interact with you guys down in the comment section. And I'm going to be saying things you may not like, and I might be saying things that you really like. So we will see after I upload this video today. So the raid is really awesome. I must say, it's really fun. It's definitely different from the story, the campaign part. There's no other mission that's like it. It's very challenging. It does have a lot of stages that expands, and there's a lot of loot that can actually be achieved from completing the raid. You do get a trophy as well, which is really cool. Basically, I got my ship pushed in right in the beginning when I did play the raid, so I found a good group of people that really understood the raid, because I didn't play the raid before, and when you do play the raid, you will be lost immediately, and it'll probably take you a really long time to complete it. I think actually the second time I played the raid, it only took me about an hour and a half max to actually complete the raid, which isn't bad. But I would have to say that the raid is also a drawback, because as of right now, the raid, if you play the raid, the only way to get to level 30 is to play the raid and to play with other players. So the game does, Destiny, Bungie forces you to play the raid to get to level 30. The reason for that is, I don't know. I have no idea why they did that. I don't know if they wanted to try to make the most advanced players that really enjoy the game actually get to a higher level, which actually isn't a bad thing, but at the same time, it kind of prevents people from continually playing the game for really long periods of time if they can't play the game. So if there's a casual player that only plays the game like every 2 days of the week or something like that, it's going to take them a really long time to get all the awesome gear that is available in Destiny. So it's not like Call of Duty, it's not like Battlefield, so that's a big downturn with that situation. But I do enjoy raid. It reminds me a lot like zombies. If you played zombies from Call of Duty, it's basically like a there's puzzles that are going on. There's a system that you have to understand when you play the raid to get to a next part of the raid to complete it. There's different bosses that are orchestrated differently, and you have to understand how to use the shield that they give you. So there's an actual equipment that's available in the raid that they give you to better yourself and defeat the bosses, which I think is really awesome. Hopefully they expand on raid. Hopefully they give us more variations of it, and I really can't wait to see what they're going to provide. So as far as the game in general, right? The game in general, I'm going to give you guys my personal opinion, my official review of Destiny today. And I hope you guys really enjoy this, because it's been a month. I've been playing the game for a really long time. I have about 76 hours into the game altogether. I'm level 27 currently. And I think right now is a good time to talk about the raid and also, just Destiny in general and give my review. So, Destiny basically puts you at a point where when you start the game, you level up and you find these loot chests, like right here. Actually, I picked this loot chest up before. That's why I didn't grab that one, because I played the raid a game before this and we didn't complete it, like I was saying earlier. But there's a lot of drops that you pick up. In the beginning of the game, there was a loot cave that everybody rushed to get more drops, and basically they try to control that so people play the game how it was supposed to be played. So basically you will get armor, weapons, you will get a variety of different things to make your character freaking improve and make them better when you're playing campaign, and also when you're in the Crucible, especially if you're playing Iron Banner, all your gear and stuff works properly and makes you a stronger player. So keep that in mind. It is available now, which is really awesome. So definitely try that out. There's 3 different guys that you can select from. You can be the Warlock, you could be the Hunter, you can also be the Titan. I am the Warlock, and I really enjoy the Warlock. I've upgraded everything for my subclass on both situations. I really find the Sunslinger very effective, so I would recommend using that. It kind of just depends on preference on that, though. As far as, like, you know, playing the game in general, I find that it's really enjoyable. It's addicting to play, specifically because if you want better weapons, you have to play longer. You have to play longer. You have to grind it out. You have to do the strike missions. You have to do the bounties. You have to play Crucible. And Bungie forces you pretty much to play every situation to advance your character. Though they force you specifically to play the campaign to level up past, let's say, just like level 26. So once you hit level 26, it's going to be a hard fucking grind to get to level 30. And the only way to get to level 30 is actually to play the raid, because you will unlock the better armor that has a 30 light, because the light is what gives you that upgrade. You can upgrade your other equipment, your legendary armor. I did get an exotic helmet, which you'll see at the end here. Not from the raid. I got it before this, but that is really cool that in general you have to actually grind everything out. Though I think it sets some players away from the game, because if they're going to play the game, they want everything right away. And I don't understand that whole philosophy. Why do you want to play a game where everything is unlocked? I would get bored out of my damn mind if everything was unlocked in the game right away. Simply put. And that's why Destiny's formula is great, because it keeps you playing. It keeps you moving in the game and trying to go for that better loot every time. And you will get rewarded, and then you will get freaking just discouraged completely and upset and frustrated and mad because you will die over and over, or you won't get that engram that you were looking for, which they pretty much did some patches to the game to upgrade your engram drops. So if you do get a purple, you get a purple. If you get a blue, it'll be a blue, and possibly it might turn into a purple. Who knows? But in general, the game is just, it's got its own feel, right? It's its own feel. It had bad reviews from large companies. 6 out of 10 was the review that basically most companies gave the game. The stock completely dropped from day one when it started, so Activision stock has just been plummeting since Activision has launched Destiny. Now, that could be contributed to also Advanced Warfare, Call of Duty. 50% sales are going to be down with Advanced Warfare as well. So that could be partially because of it. So the game does force you to play campaign, and that's the biggest downturn of this game. Also, I hate the fact that there's no custom button remapping. There is tons of disabled gamers that enjoy gaming, and most disabled gamers tend to actually enjoy gaming so much they will do a lot of things to enjoy the game, like get a different controller or whatever the case may be, so it gives them that ability to play the game a lot easier. It's really discouraging when I play a game and there's no custom options for any controls. They spent $500 million on this game. $500 million, and it doesn't have a simple feature as custom button remapping. But Nexus, which I don't even know how much that game cost, probably less than $1 million, who knows, That was on Xbox 360. I did a video on that game. That game had custom button remapping, and it was like, I don't even know how much it was. It was like $5. So it was cheaper than this game, right? It wasn't as beautiful, wasn't as extravagant, and it didn't have as much content, but it still had custom button remapping. And that's why I don't understand why developers just turn away from key features that would make the game more enjoyable for a lot more players. I would have to say that this game is really fun to play, though. I'm very addicted on playing Destiny. That is the biggest thing I would have to say with Destiny. The missions are repetitive. The story was repetitive. The strike missions are basically the same missions from the story, just they're more challenging. They put little twists on the game. So like there's heavier armor, or you don't get drops with your weapon that you're using, or if you all die, you get sent back to the fucking orbit, which sucks. So that part is really challenging. They made the game challenging, and I really like that. And that's a big thing why people enjoy Destiny, I think, because there's a challenge to the game, and people enjoy that shit. They just soak it all in. They take it in, and they're like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. I want to keep on doing it. And they'll get disappointed. I got disappointed a lot in the beginning of the game. I'm like, fuck, when am I going to level up? But in general, campaign is definitely dull. The story is dull. They didn't really expand on it, which is a big issue with any game, any blockbuster title. You should make sure that the story is fantastic. The graphics are great, of course. That's a given. The graphics are great. And, that's just a side thing. That's a side thing. And if they spent all that time on the graphics, that's where I think they left out key mechanics in the game that made it really enjoyable. Granted, this is the first of its series of games. I think this game is on a 2-year cycle. So I'm assuming in, I guess 2016 will be the next Destiny game. Now there is people that have already left Destiny, like 3 key players that made Destiny left the company. So that's huge. Stock is dropped, like I mentioned before. You can get the game actually on a discounted rate right now, 13% off, 33% off. That's very troublesome with any new game, because if you're going to spend a lot of money on a game, you want to make sure it's 100%. There was a lot of content that was left out of the game. There was people that found a glitch where there was content on each specific planet and that was left out. There was like a couple missions extra, and that was a no-no. I don't understand why Activision did that. If that's a part of that DLC, I guess that's understandable, but at the same time, like, don't, put content in the game and take it out and say, oh, we'll just make that a DLC. We'll charge people for it. And that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest downturn with this game, is in general, you are going to have to dish out some money if you want to expand on this game. And I hope that's not going to be the case on the future games in the future, just in general, because people don't want to spend, an extra $100 and something to, get those extra things, I think they really did a pretty good job on just the entertainment value with the game. I feel like the game runs really well. It doesn't ever freeze on me. It doesn't, the connection is mediocre. It looks like they're improving the matchmaking and the connection for the stability. They're making patches. They're doing patches to the game, which is good to see that they're supporting their game, which is very important. They're listening to the community and the right community. It seems like there's some weapons that were, not balanced well, and they're addressing those things. I feel like the characters in general need to be looked at, specifically the hunter. Today, this guy had the hunter, and he used the knife special, and he killed our whole team. 6 guys. He killed 6 guys with it, and we were all shooting him. There doesn't need to be a shield for that, and if there does need to be a shield for that special, I mean, I don't get a shield being a warlock using my special. you can kill me while I'm using my specials. So I just find it just BS that the fact that you made that character so powerful. But that's just my opinion. Everybody has their own opinion about it, and maybe you'll leave your opinion down in the comments section. Warlock, the most kills I've gotten in one time with a Warlock with his special orb thing is like 4 kills. You can get 6 kills with that. So that's what I'm saying. There's a big difference there in balance. Weapons definitely need to be looked at as far as balance is concerned. Fusion rifles should not be able to shoot across the fucking map. I've seen it already. There's some fusion rifles that are really, really powerful that you can get from the raid that I can't wait to actually unlock so I can give you guys some videos on. Crucible is really awesome, though, I think, personally, for the mere fact that they did balance it to a point where if you have the same, like, more powerful gear than the other guy, it's balanced. But in Iron Banner, that is where your gear plays in effect. So if your gear is at a high level, if you're like a level 27 like me, your gear will be usable. It will actually matter in Iron Banner. So that's available right now. They took out the Queen's bounties things where you just basically redo the story missions, and it's they have the variety, which is good. They're bringing in variety, and if they keep on doing that, it's going to make people want to continually play the game over and over again. Like I said, I'm addicted to playing Destiny, and I've been playing it pretty much every day. So as far as that's concerned, everybody's going to have their thing when they play Destiny. Some people are going to like the Crucible, some people are going to like the campaign. But like I said, they will force you to play the campaign. I think that's very discouraging. It's definitely different from any other, first-person shooter I've ever played. For the mere fact that, you play Call of Duty, you could play campaign or, multiplayer, and you can unlock, the stuff that's specifically designed for multiplayer. And I wish they had specifically stuff designed for the Crucible, which would make it really awesome to play the Crucible, because there isn't a lot of rewards for the Crucible at the moment, which is really discouraging to play. But on that note, it's pretty cool how they combine both of them, right? I've never seen it before where they basically do a cross where, hey, the only way you can upgrade your weapon is to go in a campaign and fetch the Spirit Blooms or Relic Iron or Helium. That's the only way, and that's really interesting how they did that, and they took a gamble on it. They really did, and there's some people that like it. I don't. I find that it's very discouraging when I play Crucible, because if I'm using a weapon that I want to upgrade and use for Iron Banner, well, I can't upgrade it until I go to campaign. So boss battles are really, really long. You will face some heavy hitters, and I don't think it's really the bosses that really are difficult. It's the fact that the guys that they have, look at this right here, I fucking failed. It's the guys that they have with them that make it really hard to defeat the boss. So if you're going to play Destiny, definitely play with a party. That's a big thing, really. To be honest, if you're going to play Destiny, make sure that you understand the fact that when you play Destiny, going solo is probably not your best solution. You will just do better when you do play Destiny when you don't go solo. For one, you can't level up your gear if you don't find people to play with, and that's the biggest downturn I feel like with the game as well. I mean, how are you going to make it so you have a level 30 cap and I have to play raid to get to that level 30? I just don't get it. They should have a special Crucible situation where you can actually upgrade your light after maybe, like, I don't know, 100 missions or 100 Crucible matches, you get one light. I think that would be acceptable, considering you're grinding out the Crucible, right? And that's what you want to do. You want to play player versus player. But this game, I guess it's for everybody in the sense that it gets a little bit of every situation. So you're always going to be doing something. There's always something that you can do. the story mode was definitely really upsetting to me personally. I felt like it was very discouraging. There wasn't really much information about the story mode, and the end game with getting the stranger's rifle was cool, but they need to have an option where you can actually redo the story mode and have it at a higher level so you can get a better weapon like an exotic or something like that, because they just pretty much make the story mode for lower levels, and they force other players to expand on the crucible or the raid, and they force you to play the raid over and over again. There's no matchmaking for the raid, so you have to find players, and there's things that they left out of the game that definitely need to be in the game, and hopefully they will establish a good perception of what people want in the game to make it more enjoyable to play. I think they're going to definitely expand on the game, considering the stock is dropping, and they want to make the game more enjoyable to play for everybody, and they're going to do what they have to do to keep people playing. So I'm sure that's why they're bringing stuff in every week, changing the formula, and giving us updates. It seems like every week for drops, like better drops now you can get, so every purple turns into a purple, that kind of thing, to make the game more enjoyable. And there's still people trying to find those loot caves and just exploiting the fuck out of that loot. And I'm not going to say I didn't. It was really fun in the beginning. Rest in peace, loot cave. But we beat the raid here. I got the Raider trophy, which is really awesome. And I must say the raid is really awesome. Vault of Glass, it's definitely fun to play. I would have to give this game probably an 8 out of 10. I don't think it deserves a 6 out of 10 just for the mere fact I think a lot of the reviews were rushed. Yes, the story mode is very dull, but I think they're going to expand on the story in the future titles and make it a lot better. We will have to wait and see, but it does put a big dent in this game, and when you get bad reviews, it hurts the franchise completely. So it's all depends on how many players are going to just continue to play the game over and over again and still play it, try to get to that level 30. And I think that's all this game's about right now. Everybody is just trying to get to that level 30, get those better weapons, get that better armor, and just try to upgrade your armor with those shards, which you don't get a lot of those shards. You get some of those energy shards for the weapons, but the armor, that's where you can upgrade your light and advance to level 30, which is really cool. I hope that the level 30 cap is probably going to get raised, I'm sure, as this game goes on, considering it is on a 2-year cycle. So we will have to wait and see how high they increase the level cap. But in general, I enjoy Destiny entirely. I enjoy it. It's a fun game. It's something to play, and that's probably why I'm playing it. But I really enjoy giving you guys videos on it. I enjoy playing it. I enjoy playing with friends. That's the biggest thing. It's got a good social environment. I hope they fix the tower where you can actually talk to people in the tower a lot easier. That would be pretty cool as well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and drop it a comment. Give it a favorite. Thank you for watching. Kapgun out.